Hi everyone, today I would like to share about teaching vocabulary for young learners. The first stage of vocabulary learning introduced by Brewster Ellis and Girard is connected with the introduction of new words and the several different ways of presenting vocabulary. They claim that it is helpful to introduction new words in groups based on certain similarities. For example, animal. An animal is a living creature such as a dog, lion, or rabbit, rather than a bird, fish, insect, or human being. Any living creature other than a human being can be referred to as an animal. There are animals. There are dog, hamster, rabbit, cat. And next, opposites are male and female. Gender. Gender is used to describe the characteristics of women and men that are socially constructed, while sex refers to those that are biologically determined. People are born female or male, but learn to be girls and boys who grow into women and men. There are genders. There are male as husband and female as wife. Next, color sets. Color. Everything you see when you open your eyes are in different colors. In other words, you need to have a light to see colors. There are three primary colors. There are red, blue, and yellow. And for the next secondary colors, there are green, orange, and purple. And the other, for example, there are lexical sets, rhyming sets, color sets, and etc. Grouping words together definitely helps students associate new words with words they already know and assist them in recalling words. When learning new words, the emphasis should definitely be placed on consolidating words that students know and practicing a fewer number of words rather than presenting a huge amount of words and expecting children to memorize them. The stage of attending to farm refers to learning the right. Students also need to learn if the word has an irregular plural. For example, child, children, or weather. For example, apple, apples, information, article, on. The stage should involve a lot of listening and repetition, as well as organization and copying. And next, I will explain about vocabulary selection. It is many times difficult for the teacher to decide on how many words should be taught and which specific words should be selected for young learners. This very burning question may depend on several . may depend on several different factors, such as learning conditions, time available, and of course, the concrete age of the learners. However, a variety of general rules can be formulated that are useful to take into account. And the next, summarize the following implication for the teaching of new vocabulary. First, the easier a word is to say and spell, the more quickly it will be remembered. It is useful to link words together rather than teaching a larger set of isolated times. For example, better results can be obtained if you present words in pairs rather than large sets. For example, fat was pig, and not pig, cow, crow, mouse, sheep, etc. And for the third, children remember words better if they have some emotional connection with them. So, when presenting new words, the teacher should try to establish links to students' own lives, feelings, and experience. And for the next, I will explain about presenting new words. And the first, realia, bringing the things the words represent into the classroom. For example, ruler, pen. There are, for example, ruler and pen. And for example, other example, there are postcard, ball, etc. The teacher holds up the object or points to it, says the word, and then gets students to repeat it. And for the second, pictures. Bringing a pen into the classroom is not a problem. Bringing in a car, however, is. One solution could be bringing in pictures. For example, for drawings or picture, there is example of magazine pictures, charts, flashcards, and etc. They can illustrate concepts such as above and opposite is extremely important for young learners. And for the next, meme, action, and gesture. Action is probably better explained by meme, especially with young learners. For example, it is easier to present running or eating with meme. The teacher can be established a common gesture for a certain concept. For example, for the past tense, hand jerked over the shoulder. And for the next, contrast. It means presenting the meaning of a word by contrasting it with its opposite. For example, empty, full, cold, hot, big, small. There is example of big, small. Big for elephant, small for ants. It can be carried out verbally, but also with the help of picture of miming by simply drawing attention to the contrast to meaning. And for the next, enumeration. It is a great and creative way of presenting meaning by enumerating or listing various items, for example, clothes, vegetables, furniture, etc. And the next, translation. It is a quick and easy way to present meaning, but not without problems. It seems to be the most straightforward and the fastest way of explaining new vocabulary to young learners. On the other hand, it may be a bit too easy and it discourages students from interacting with the words in English. And for the next, pointing, touching, tasting, feeling, and smelling. It is about getting children using their senses. It helps memorize words and understand their meanings. And the next, using digital technology, using the internet, the interactive whiteboard, tablet, and smartphones. There is example of smartphones. And the next, explanation. It can be difficult, especially with young learners at beginner and elementary levels. It is more suitable for older and intermediate students. However, if it is done with care, it can be effective even with younger children. For example, when explaining the word dog, the teacher can say, it is animal. It says wolf, wolf, and it is man's best friend. The teacher can combine explanation with miming or even acting. And there are 9 of presenting new words. And I will explain more. Vocabulary, practicing, memorizing, and checking activities involve the active participation of students. Children need to certain activities with words in order to learn them properly and to make strong memory connections. The more things they do with the new words, the more and the more, and etc. Children remember words better if they have some emotional connection with them. So, when presenting new words, the teacher should try to establish links to students on lives, feelings, and experience. The above listed assumptions give us a clear guidelines in the selection of vocabulary to young learners. The younger the students is, the more basic and simple words should be taught. It is also important that the words they learn are meaningful for them. This means that they can connect it to their own personal lives and experiences. I think it is enough for my presentation to explain about teaching vocabulary for young learners. And thank you everyone for this presentation, and see you.